And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Wrong Side Simulations channel, bringing you the best content from the wrong side of the airplane, the right seat. And as always, my name is Blake, and I'm a real-world flight dispatcher, aiming to bring you a little more context to your flight sim viewing experience. And today, as we all know, we've got Hurricane Ian. I'm stuck in the past. Hurricane Ian is bearing down on Florida. I am here in Orlando, so I went to the grocery store this morning and dropped about $300 on Chef Boyardee ravioli for the win. I actually really love Chef Boyardee. Don't judge me. So for this one, as the title says, we're going to discuss from the flight dispatch side of things how to flight plan an aircraft or a flight that traverses in, over, around the vicinity of a hurricane. I know there's been quite a few things on social media lately of flights. Like I know there was a JetBlue flight that I believe departed the Dominican Republic out of Fiona, and everybody was just up in arms that this flight could take off out of a hurricane, but then it deviated around an isolated thunderstorm over the AR routes. Which all of this madness comes from people who don't know jack shit about weather and what's going on when it comes to flying an airplane, as well as flight planning. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to flight plan the flight together. I have not really looked at much of anything on this as far as like routing and all that kind of stuff, but I have a general idea of where I want to send the flight if we were going to be conducting this in real life. So first things first, as always, Aviation Geek, what is up, dude? Welcome aboard. Happy to see you. Hope all is well. Starting a job Thursday morning, doing traffic control on the roads. As soon as I have a day off, I will stream again. Alright, sounds good. Just let me know. Shoot me a text. Kieran, Hillbilly Gypsy, Zach, Wes, what is going on, my friends? So happy to have y'all with me today. It's been a hot, sexy minute since I've seen Hillbilly Gypsy's name in the chat. But hope all is good, dude. Hope the youngin' is nice and healthy. And sleeping. Letting you sleep. Side note, I am a little bit under the weather. Went to an LSU game last weekend. Lost my voice, and my girlfriend has this theory that because I lost my voice, somehow it compromised my immune system, and then I ended up having to fly down to Fort Lauderdale a few days ago for work, and that got me all the germs and stuff, and now I've got a cold. I don't know what gave it to me. I don't really give a shit, but as you can tell, I'm congested, a little stopped up. Will probably cough a little bit, maybe sneeze once or twice, and sniffle. So hopefully it's not too gross sounding on the microphone, and we'll be able to still conduct this this here stream. Other side note, obviously now those of y'all that have been around in the channel for a while know that I am now part of leadership or whatever at my airline, and with the current situation with the hurricane, I am kind of on a standby status. So if company were to need me for something, they could call me in for help. So just as a precautionary statement, just so y'all know that I don't think it's going to happen, but there is a chance that I could get called in, and it could be at any random time with no warning. My director did just text me a few minutes ago. And on that note, guys, hang on one sec. Work shit. We got this meeting that was supposed to take place this morning, and then it was rescheduled, and then it was canceled. And so then I started doing all this stuff, and Now it sounds like the meeting actually took place about 30 minutes ago. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if this is actually true or not. So I'm trying to find out if I actually missed this meeting. Okay. Alright, cool. So I didn't miss shit. Alrighty, sweet. So, let's start planning this flight, shall we? We'll turn down Microsoft Flight Simulator sound. Yeah, you know, dad stuff. I'll be working anywhere from 16 hours. Sounds like our crew schedulers. It seems like everybody I know is getting a cold right now. It's kind of weird. I don't think we look alike, but I will say you do look a bit like my cousin. Tamara, welcome aboard. What do you mean by POV Florida? Point of view Florida? Not sure what the context is on that. Cool. So let's pause the music and let's start planning this flight. So I will be utilizing some resources that I have. Being a flight dispatcher, a lot of these resources, normal folks like who don't work for an airline won't have access to some of these sources, but this is more so to educate and show how a flight dispatcher in the real world would plan a flight in relation to a hurricane that is in the way. So for today's flight, we're going to be flying Lauderdale to Cancun. I believe V1 is streaming right now, flying a similar flight. I was originally going to do JetBlue, but then I saw he's flying JetBlue, so I was like, well, only other Airbus carrier that flies this route is Spirit, so we'll fly Spirit. So we've got a few different sources here. Some of these you may have seen in other parts of the flight planning series. I believe this is number 5. I might be wrong, but I can't remember. So we've got COSPA. COSPA is a future weather radar source. It's pretty good most of the time. Sometimes it will steer you in the absolute wrong direction. We got Lauderdale ATIS. We all know what that is. Here we've got the ATC OIS page that shows flow programs, ground stops, any departure delays, airport closures, etc. So we'll get into this here in a little bit. Current reroutes page. So for any reroutes that ATC has published to route aircraft, whether it's around large system of weather or if there's traffic volume, stuff like that, ATC will publish reroutes, and then the dispatcher has to comply with any required reroutes. There's also recommended reroutes, so it's obviously recommended but not required. And we got ForeFlight, so we'll get that logged in. We got Flight Radar 24. We're going to be using this to look at all airborne traffic, kind of see what they're doing, because there's no better resource than looking at what folks who are already up in the skies are doing. WSI Pilot Brief Optima. This is a source specific to my job, and this overlays a lot of different weather information, and we'll definitely be utilizing this pretty heavily. And then obviously we got SimBrief. Let's change this to NKS. We got SimBrief, and that's what we're going to be using for our flight planning software today. Is Microsoft Flight Sim over doing the weather a bit? I don't know. I guess we're going to kind of figure that out. I think that will be one big difference between my stream versus V1's is that we're going to be flight planning this first, so we're going to be looking at the tops. We'll be looking at the route, except we're going to treat this as realistic as possible. I'm going to route this as I would in real life, instead of, like, obviously the fun thing a lot of times on the flight sim is to just go ahead and like route into the weather, because we love the weather views we get in Microsoft Flight Sim. But in the real life, obviously you're not going to go routing straight through like 50,000 foot top weather and stuff like that. So we're going to plan it first. We're going to look at the tops. We're going to look at the weather. We're going to look at the route. We're going to look at everything, and then go fly it and see kind of how it compares to our real world live sources versus Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if you want to know the answer to that question, we'll figure it out together, and stick around. Let's get to Cancun, have a date down there. Nice. What is her name? Okay, so first things first, we kind of need to figure out what the tops on this weather is looking like. Tops kind of dictate, as far as routing goes with a weather system like this, it dictates a lot. Other thing to take into consideration is going to be rides, and then also icing can play a factor, but that's going to be higher altitude stuff in this time of year, and not a big factor for this flight. Wiley, what's going on, dude? Welcome. Cheers, Dr. Pepper. Cheers. I should be drinking a beer, but I'm saving my beer for the hurricane in case we lose electricity. All right, so first thing, let's take a look at the tops. Looking at COSPA, which is the future radar. Now this is the actual live weather radar image right now. We can chain forward and kind of just see what the weather's going to do in the future. I have it set to a 15-minute loop, so every time I click the mouse, it is chaining forward 15 minutes. And so obviously we'll be airborne within the hour. So if I had to guess, we would be airborne around here. It's about what it would look like. And then just kind of keep chaining forward and seeing what the weather's going to do. Obviously, it's kind of got this north movement with the sails kind of rotating to the west. So just right away, without even taking tops in consideration, I kind of know that I'm probably going to want to steer clear of this area and a lot of these bands. So it would probably be best to go a little bit north and get on the north side of this stuff, and then come south. So that's probably what we're going to do. Sweet. Now coming back to current time, I do have Echo Top tags turned on. So this will just give you a quick little idea of what the tops are like, but I have another source where we can really dig deeper into the tops. So in the vicinity of Lauderdale, we got some scattered isolated tops. 290, 260. I'm sure this is probably pretty small on y'all's screens if you're watching it on your phone and stuff. So I'll announce all the tops. Going to the north, we got tops at 310, 320, 320, 31, 30, 33, 34, 37, 26 as we're kind of working our way down. In this band, we obviously want to steer clear of this band with tops up to 470. So we want to stay away from that. Coming down close to the eye of the hurricane, got higher tops, 390, 350, 410, 410, 40. So the general consensus just from looking at this is it's definitely better to stay on the north side. We'll stay out of those bands, stay over the lower tops, and most of what we'll encounter will just be a lot of heavy rain, which is not a big deal. So continuing on with the thought of tops. Let's see if I can turn off that. All right, cool. So this is called radar echo tops. So blue is lower tops. As you start getting into the green, you're starting to get into higher tops, and then the really high tops are going to be like yellow into pink. So as right here, you can tell we got some yellow once it loads. There you go. So this is part of the band that's to the south of Lauderdale. Tops in that band are on this source showing 450, although COSPA was showing 470. That's not a big discrepancy. And sometimes I believe like WSI right here is probably going to generalize everything on the tops in increments of 5,000 feet. So we've got like 30,000, 45, 45, 35, 35. You're not going to find like 32 and 33 like we did in COSPA. With this source, it's very generalized. But that's what we have the color shading for. Granted, it's kind of hard to see some of it because I got the lightning strikes turned on too. So let's get rid of that. And we can also get rid of these little radar summary. We know what direction it's moving. I don't need it to tell me that. So, so just from looking at this, we got a lot of blue. And that's a good thing. Blue is low tops. So just from quickly looking at this, my theory of staying to the north and getting past most of the high tops and then working our way south is probably going to be the best plan of action. The standard routing going down to Cancun will take you down this direction, and that's not really where we want to go. As you can tell, we got all this green and yellow here, so obviously that's higher tops. And then as we get closer to the eye, you got higher tops, obviously heavier wind speed as well, which could cause some turbulence. So the best plan of action that I believe would to stay to the north. At work, I can actually click and like hover over this, and it'll tell me exactly how high the top is. In like you can look at like one little small spot, like this little piece right here, and it'll tell you exactly how high that one little spot is. Don't think I have that capability with the web-based version. All right, so next, so now we know the tops are low, and for those of y'all who don't know, with low pressure systems associated with hurricanes, those low pressure systems keep most of the tops very low. So when you see stuff on social media like JetBlue that climbed out of Fiona and everybody makes a big uproar about it, it's really not a big deal because the tops are not that high. The low pressure system keeps the tops low, and most of the time, unless the rides are really bad, for the most part, airplanes fly right over it. So something to keep in mind when y'all see people losing their shit on social media about an airplane flying over a hurricane. It's really not a big deal. I've dispatched a good number of airplanes right over a hurricane. It's not a big deal. All right, let's see. So now this, these are called FPGs, Flight Planning Guidance Areas. So highlighting this area here, from 8,000 feet to 16,000 feet, they've got light to occasional moderate turbulence. Vertical wind shear and convectively induced is what's causing the turbulence there. We're not going to go this far out. Obviously, this is way out over the Gulf, but just to give another example of what these FPGs show. This is also light and occasional moderate turbulence, flight level 260 to 340 due to horizontal wind shear. And that's more than likely going to be associated with this cold front. Then you also got convective FPGs. I don't really care about those. Because you also have convective SIGMETs, which I also don't care about. I don't need a giant red box to tell me there's a thunderstorm there. It's kind of stupid. If any other real-world dispatchers are watching this, like some people live and die by the convective SIGMETs, I think they're absolutely useless. So, at least, let me rephrase that. Where we have Doppler radar, they're useless. Now, once you go into areas, typically like Central South America, where you don't have Doppler radar, now I do rely on convective SIGMETs to tell me at least the tops. But even still, I don't need a convective SIGMET or big red box that convolutes my map to tell me there's a thunderstorm there, because I'll just go and turn on lightning strikes and then be able to see where storms are at. So if I turn off these FPGs, you can tell with all these little dots, or whatever you want to call them, these little lightning indicators, you got lightning everywhere. So lightning equals thunderstorms. So I don't need a big red convective SIGMET box to tell me that. But yeah, you can also refer to SIGMETs for weather information. I'm not that worried about them, so I'm not really going to. It looks like we do have a couple little isolated areas of thunderstorms around the Cancun area. We are carrying, what does this give us? MZBZ, I don't even know who the hell that is. But we'll carry an alternate for that reason. But we'll also obviously look at the weather too. So now, so we've kind of figured out routing wise that we want to go north, and then swing it around to the southwest once we're around the worst of it. So now the next thing that I want to do as a dispatcher, I want to kind of cross-check my theory by seeing what all the other airborne traffic is doing. And this kind of follows what I'm thinking. As you can tell, out here, there's nobody flying. This guy's going that direction though, Avianca. But for the most part, there's really nobody out in this airspace at all, which tells me I'm probably making the right decision by not going to the south and crossing down this direction. Because, like I said earlier, the standard routing does take you down around this way. We're going to stay up to the north and kind of swing it down around like these guys are doing. Hey, that's a NOAA airplane. That's cool. But yeah. So it's always good to look at live traffic, see what they're doing, because they are up there experiencing it in real time, and give you a good idea of what you should or shouldn't do. Now, if we thought, okay, it's cool, we're just going to route our airplane down this way, but then we look at this and we see nobody's down there, it's probably not a good idea. And often too, as a dispatcher, pilots will ask, like, hey, what are guys ahead of us doing in relation to the weather? And you just pull up all the live traffic and see what people or whatever other flights in the vicinity of your planned route are doing, and you can let them know what to expect based off of what everybody else is doing. So if you see guys deviating around like thunderstorms or whatever the case, you can kind of use that as information to relay to your crew. So on the OIS page, as of right now, there are no departure delays, which is kind of a little surprising. Now, this will definitely change over the next couple of days as this thing moves inland. Actually, it may not change a whole lot. I'm sure there will be departure delays for Lauderdale and Miami, which are going to stay open. With all the weather, ATC is going to have to coordinate and synchronize all the departures and arrivals in and out of South Florida, working around the weather, because that weather is going to be a huge constraint in their airspace. So I would anticipate over the next couple of days we'll probably see a lot of departure delays. But we have no ground stops, no flow programs. So typically we'll see a lot of flow programs going into the Northeast. It's just such dense airspace. Wind blows a little too hard, and then LaGuardia and Newark, everybody goes into a ground stop. So, or not a ground stop, but a flow program. Those would be displayed here, but there are none as of now. Orlando is closed except for emergency. Tampa is also closed for emergency, or except for emergency. Those are two major airports that I would typically use if we were coming back. Say we're coming into Lauderdale, I would typically be using Tampa or Orlando as an alternate. But looking at this, now I know can't use it. And honestly, I'm surprised, or at least it may not go into be in effect yet, although I would think it would be. But I'm surprised to not see Fort Myers on this list as well. Let's see, airport closure information and situational awareness only. Check NOTAMs. Cool. Reroutes. A lot of times when there is a big weather system like this, ATC is issuing reroutes to route aircraft around it. But because of the location of where this thing is sitting at right now, it's not really an issue for the FAA yet. So there's currently no reroutes. But as this moves inland, there will, like, for sure tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of reroutes put out. It's probably mainly northeast to Florida, Midwest to Florida, Ohio Valley to Florida. They have them all. It's like playbook routes. They all have them labeled and stuff. As dispatchers, we kind of know those routes because we deal with them so much. But they have them titled certain things like Ohio Valley to Florida. So if you're leaving Ohio Valley and you're going to Florida, you want to be looking for reroute. Not today. Today's fine. For now, but tomorrow will be an issue. So let's get into the routing. So I've got FliGht here. I've kind of got the weather turned down a little bit so we can actually see the route. So obviously in a straight line, that's an issue, and you'll never fly in a straight line. But one of the things I love about FliGht, and I use this all the time when I dispatch, is that if there's any routes, including like non-playbook routes, non-CDR routes, non-preferred routes, maybe it's like a handcrafted route that another dispatcher made at another company and they filed, it will show up in FliGht. And so I would anticipate there's going to be some good, there's going to be some good routes in here. So we don't even have to go hand build a route. We can just pull from out of here. So this is typically the standard route, this one or this one. These are the two most used routes. See, this one was used 226 times in the past month. And this one was used 33 times in the past month. I would imagine that a couple of these are probably from today. Yep, so today this one was filed 3 times. Let's see, this one was filed 2 times today. So on the side here, it tells you how many times it's been filed and since when. And so I'm kind of digging this route. This is about what I had in mind. Somebody, they filed at least 3 times today. And it looks good to me, so we'll plan on that. So here's our route. It does stay. It looks like it stays within the low tops. I don't like how it's doing this. So if we wanted to, we could come to this, but I understand why. Granted, this was also filed earlier, so this band may not have been here when they filed this route. What's this on the Glades 2? Glades departure. Be nice 1. All right, here's what we're gonna do. So we're actually, I'm gonna take these 2 routes and I'm gonna piece them together into something I like a little bit more, which is also something I would typically do at work. So we're gonna take this super long route here, and I'm gonna create another FliGht. Route advisor, and then I'm gonna pull up the shorter one. And then I want all the way up to Korea, which is really just the departure and the transition. And then coming over to the next one, we'll take out Lauderdale up to Glades, replace it with this, and now we're going to get that. The next part is I want it to join Y240 at Shack. Y240, sweet. And then from there, we're solid. You do typically want to try to keep it on airways as much as possible. You can see all these little blue lines. Those are airways. On a day like today, there's going to be reduced flying in and out of South Florida, which would help. Because I'm sure ATC probably wouldn't like it a whole lot. Then you go all the way up to here and then just cutting over to these airways and stuff. But with the reduced flight or the reduced flying that's going on, along with the weather, and everybody's going to be going this way anyways, it's relatively likely that ATC would just give it to us. So we are going to copy this, and we're going to drop it into SimBrief. And there we go. There is our route. Now, we need to look at weather departing out of there. So we're planning on departing out of here. Let's call it 20. 25. And I need to know how long this flight is, so we're going to go ahead and calculate. So the flight is an hour and 33 minutes long. So if we leave at 2025, be 2125, roughly 22Z would be our ETA. So first we'll look at the departure time. We're departing at 2025, and at 2025 they're calling for winds 110 knots, 3 statute miles, rain, vicinity thunderstorms, scattered at 1000 CB, broken at 3000, overcast 6000. Also, they have a tempo that expires right about the time that we're leaving. For winds variable 15, gusting 25, 2 statute miles, rain, thunderstorms, and broken at 2000 cumulonimbus clouds. So we definitely want to, if we were doing this in real life, we would want to tack on some extra taxi fuel for anticipated departure delays. When you got thunderstorms and wind shear, aircraft will typically hold their departure until it's far enough out of the way they can get out of there. So we're going to start by increasing our taxi fuel a bit. Now, Cancun. We'll say our ETA is 22Z. So we got a tempo at our ETA. And to determine if we need an alternate or not, you look at an hour before, hour after, with less than 2,000 foot ceilings and less than 3 miles visibility. So just quickly from looking at this, we've got 3 statute miles, rain, broken at 1,000, which is less than 2,000. So automatically we require an alternate. In the line above, we've got winds 315, greater than 6 statute miles, broken at 1,500, which is less than 2,000. Even if you want to go to the line below, which is still, it's well after our ETA and it's not really applicable, but looking at the trend for the weather, winds are 340 at 12, 5 statute miles, rain, broken at 1,500 with CVs. So we absolutely require an alternate. And then we got MZBZ. They've got a 1-line TAF. It looks good, so we'll keep them. Alright, so now we are going to increase the CI up to 99 since we are flying a substantially longer route. That's going to increase our block time, and we want to try to make it into our ETA on time as much as possible, make up any time that's lost due to flying longer. So we're going to increase the CI to 99. We're going to part off of runway 10 right, since it's on the side of the airport that we're parked at, plus it's on the, well, actually we're going to the north. Let's do 10 left. It's on the, we're departing to the north, and that's on the north side of the airport, so that way we're not crossing traffic and stuff like that. Let's see, arrival runway, I'm just going to leave it at 30 left. Taxi in, don't care. At my company, our fuel policy states 10 minutes of extra fuel below the line, which is what this extra fuel is. This is not required in the min takeoff fuel. Just got a 10 minutes there. We'll leave altitude to auto. We'll just say that we're booked to 143. Give ourselves some payload. Alright, now, the bigger part, as far as fuel goes, is going to be the contingency fuel. Now, I would imagine in real life, even though that we're seeing a lot of really low tops on most of this weather, that there will still be some isolated, scattered areas of higher tops that may require some deviations. So we definitely want to tack on some gas. We don't want to just blindly trust everything that we see here, that all the tops are low and there won't be any deviations. There will likely still be some deviations around isolated or scattered higher tops. Not a big deal. We just need to make sure that we have the gas for it. Then also we've got the shitty weather in Cancun. 3 miles rain, possibility of some thunderstorms with the CBs in there. So we want some extra gas for that. Rides, based off what we looked at, are mostly smooth. There'll be some turbulence during the climb, but at cruise should be good. So I'm not worried about the rides. And then other than that would be the arrival rate. Can't really look up the arrival rate for Cancun because it's not in the U.S. Cancun is usually pretty busy. I have seen some holding just for volume. But I think with the amount of fuel that we'll end up putting on for all the other constraints, will be, if we like in real life were to run into any volume issues, we'll be able to absorb that in the contingency fuel that we're going to plan. So, let's see. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of weather deviations. I'd say 15 minutes for that. And then we got a solid alternate. And I say another 20 minutes for, no, we'll go 15 since it's only CBs forecasted and not actual thunderstorms. So that'll give us a total of 30 minutes of dispatch add fuel for constraints plus our 45-minute reserve along with our alternate. So 15 minutes for weather deviations, 15 minutes for the possible thunderstorms. Again, keyword possible, not forecasted thunderstorms in Cancun. And then we got all the other stuff, so should be good there. Just cross-check everything else. Lauderdale, Cancun, blah, blah. It's good. CI-99 for block. 10 left, 30 left. Sweet. And let's see what it gives us. And just kind of catching back up in the chat real quick before we press on. And we get to the fun stuff, actually flying this this flight plan that we've done together. Didn't one flight take off in Irma? Probably. I can't remember though. I've seen so many in my 5 years at my current company. I've seen a fair number of hurricanes, and I've dispatched a lot of flights over them. So I wouldn't doubt it. Is there a way to delete my flight plan? Your flight plan in what? The airplane or SimBrief or what you got? Oh, FMC on the fly-by-wire. So what I do is to just kind of clear everything out. Just put so like in the init page, put in your origin/origin. So like in this case, if we were leaving Lauderdale, I would do Lauderdale/Lauderdale. That'll clear out everything you put in, and then re-put in your origin destination and start over. Zach's gonna fly through it. I hope you make it. Blue, man, what is up? Long time no talk. Did I miss the weather flight planning discussion? I don't know when you came in. But I'll tell you what, we'll do a quick recap for you. So WSI. So again, for those who weren't here, and Captain AB, this is good for you too, because now you are about to be a dispatcher. So the blue is low tops with green getting higher. So the green's going to be like low 30s going into the higher 30s, and then the yellow, which you're not seeing a whole lot of right now. And this image does change every 5 minutes with each radar scan. The yellow is going to be higher up into the going into the 40s. If there were tops with like up to the 50s, you would see that as pink. So just from quickly looking at this, we can tell that the tops are mostly low, keyword mostly. Going to the north, which is why we routed our airplane to the north side of the weather, versus going through it with all these higher tops, especially this part here. That's pretty high. Easily 40,000 feet and above. And then again, for the rides, turning on FPGs. We can even turn on Sigmets too. Convective. And y'all will quickly see why I keep convective Sigmets turned off, because it very much convolutes your map. Icing, we'll do that. And turbulence. Cool. So now it's kind of hard to see everything because everything is all in a big red box. But we've got light occasional moderate turbulence, 8,000 feet to 16,000 feet during the climb out. And after that, we're going to be turning south before we get out to this stuff. This is way out in the middle of the Gulf. This one is 26,000, 34,000, light occasional moderate turbulence. So the rides won't be a big deal in cruise. And then obviously, again, like we talked about a while ago, we've got some isolated scattered thunderstorms down in the Cancun area based off of the lightning returns. So we are going to carry an alternate for that. And I think that pretty much covers it. Chase, what's going on, dude? Well, welcome. Thomas, what's up, man? Welcome, welcome. Welcome aboard. Oh, okay. I'll definitely do that. We'll pin that as well. So that is a bit of a handcrafted route. That's obviously not something that we would file or plan every day, but this is specific to this weather event. So now that we've increased the CI to 99, it has reduced our block time, or correction, our air time, because block is also including taxi. So our en route time is now an hour and 30 minutes versus the hour 33 that it was showing originally. It's got us at 32,000. That's probably because of the CI 99. The faster you fly, the more shallow of a climb gradient that you have to take to maintain a higher speed. Therefore, it's going to put you at a lower altitude. We can force that up, and if we need to, we can slow down in the climb so that we can get to altitude and then speed it up. So let's go. Let's take her up to 36. Weight might be an issue. We're somewhat-ish heavy. VCC says, congratulations, nice channel. Awesome, man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I recently became a dispatch manager. Now I don't get to consistently stream as much as I used to, which kind of sucks, but the job is worth it, so I can't complain too much. But nonetheless, if you find my material or my content worthy, I hope that you subscribe and like. And I greatly appreciate it, and hope to see you around in the chat more. Alright, so I think we're ready to go. Let's get this airplane prepped and ready. I was not going to fly on VATSIM just so I can talk to y'all a little easier, but if y'all want, I'll fly on VATSIM so we can all fly together. We'll go ahead and pre-file this. Flight plans filed. And I'm going to connect. Just making sure we don't pop up on top of anybody. Cool. Let's get into the cockpit. So, Hillbilly, I'm actually really glad that you mentioned about the moving seats in the Discord, because I had no idea. So I know y'all would rather have SATCOM, and I would too, or Wi-Fi domes, or IEs, or Sharklets, but it's something that I'll take it. Let's go ahead and jump on into the cockpit and get this thing going. In fact, since now we are in the cockpit, get that seat adjusted. And won't take too much time getting set up, because I feel like y'all get to see airplanes being prepped plenty of times. Y'all know all about that by now. So let's jump straight into it. ATSU, AOC menu, flight init. Alright, we got that part done. Let's go to data, verify that our nav data is current, and it is. Init, init. And we are in KS 2541. Oh yeah, so side note guys, I do have a, I got the first piece of my throttle. It is in, I'm waiting on the main part of the throttle, the Flightsimpm Throttle. And also my physical McDo is on the way. So the next step will be going to Home Depot. I'm going to build like a little, like it needs to be elevated, it doesn't stand very tall. So I'm going to build like this little box that's going to kind of replicate the center pedestal of an Airbus, and mount the throttle as well as the McDo to that. So hopefully sometime in the near future, instead of me using a mouse, I'll be using a physical unit, and we'll be putting a camera on that and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it's of decent quality too, because I've read some pretty bad things online from the place that I bought it from. So CI99, cruise altitude, let's go 360. Our temperature is minus 44. Triple pause is 510. We'll just add a couple extra digits because it has to be 5 digits. Wind, get that request in there. Clear that out. Flight plan. Lauderdale, departing off of 10 left on the Be Nice 1. Korea transition, insert. Cancun arrival on standby. Let me get my charts open for this one. Really weird. Have no ILSs on the 30s. This is RMP approaches. And I would imagine it's probably going to be on, if we come in from the direction that we're coming in from, we won't be on 30 right. Yeah, so we'll do RNAV 30 right, and then I've got to figure out my star. NOSAT 1B. Perfect. Got that in there. Secondary, we'll copy the active, and if we need to hold, we'll go to room. We'll plan a hold at room. RadNav, let's put in, we'll hard tune Lauderdale. Init. And our zero fuel weight is going to be, or is planned at 132.8. And standard CG of 30. Block fuel is going to be 18.9. Taxi fuel is let's call it 0.8. Rounding up a little bit. No route reserve. Alternate fuel 3.7, and our reserve fuel is 3.2. Sweet. Let's get boarding underway. We'll do a quick board. Alrighty, finishing up with our setup. You can kind of see it here. I got an EFB mounted. I'm gonna use that for this portion of the prep, instead of just keep changing the view back and forth to the EFB. Let's see. Our altimeter setting is 2978. Pressure just keeps dropping. Cool. Alright, flight directors are on. Constraints can come on. The VOR's on. Top altitude on the B-Nice 1. Departure is 4,000 feet. And that is set. Go down here to make sure everything else is set the way it should be. And we'll go ahead and get the APU started. We got our fuel on board. Actually, I have to make sure that I do it with my button key. That way it arms it in packs as well. There we go. And the fuel pumps can come on. Alright, to the chat. Sitting here with the last 30 minutes of Clash review. Oof. I do not miss those days, man. That shit sucks. My flight plan has me going through the eye. Oh yeah. Nice. I mean, you'll definitely beat me there. The eye got me. See, in fact, the eye will be probably, well, I guess if you're inside the eye, that's where you're going to have the least issues. Jesus, man. Look, y'all look at this. Everybody and they mama is flying. That's because V1's flying this shit. I don't even know where MUHA is. But everybody's going there. Except for me. I ain't going there. Alright, so the APU is started. We'll start a 3-minute APU warm-up. That's weird, Wiley. I'm definitely connected. NKS 2541. I see somebody pushing back right now. I've been having issues with my GSX not working. I originally, so I downloaded and installed. Zach, I kind of figured that was you. Yeah, that's really weird, guys. I don't know. Let's see what. I'm on USA East server. .8. But anyways, I've had issues with my GSX. I downloaded and installed addon linker, and originally just linked the folders that were in the add-ons or in the community folder to that, and then it stopped working. So I deleted them. I uninstalled GSX, reinstalled, updated like 7 times, and it still doesn't work. Whenever it gets to the point where it needs to load up vehicles outside the airplane, Codal stops working, and I get an error message and it restarts. So my fancy pushbacks won't be happening. Alright, so let's get a actually, I guess we can't really do that yet. I was gonna get a departure brief, but gotta wait till we're boarded up. Got 121 boarded out of 143. We can get that bleed on now since we've had 3 minutes. Ooh, Lord.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, Spirit Wing 543 taxi through 10 left via Tango Sierra Bravo. Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, that's right. Let me disconnect, because that's whenever me and when me and Shaq flew together. Yeah, that's what it is. Me and Shaq flew together. I was the spectator, so that we wouldn't have 2 airplanes on their scope. Cool. Yeah, we flew a shared cockpit. All right, y'all should see me now. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my foot. Alright, we are loaded up. Let's get our correct number. So our actual zero fuel weight is 132.8, which is what we were planned. 132.8 / our CG is 30.1. Nice. Performance. Just going to do it on my EFB, my real EFB in person. 4 off 10 left. It's wet. Let's go flaps 2 toga, packs on for the weather and possible wind shear, and we'll calculate that. Okie doke. So that's going to give us flaps 2 down 0.1. No flex. Engine out. Acceleration climb is 10-10. Same on the thrust reduction. And then our V speeds 18, 41, 41. Sweet. Alright. Departure brief. So it's going to be a right seat takeoff. Say 320 for tail strike avoidance, no MELs or CDLs that degrade the performance of the aircraft. It's going to be a 2-engine taxi because the ground is wet and probably a little windy. Taxi route is going to be Tango 8, Quebec, Charlie, short of 10 left. We have no terrain, obviously. Weather is a factor. If we encounter any wind shear, we'll fly our wind shear escape maneuver. No hot spots and runways to cross. Any issues before V1 will be my decision. Reject the takeoff. Will come to a complete stop. Set the parking brake. Call the flight center station. Analyze the situation and call for any ECAM actions or emergency evacuation checklist as required. After V1, we're going to go flying. Our engine out procedure is to hold at room. We'll speed up, clean up engine out. It's 10-10 off the ground. We'll be just over about 5,000 pounds over max landing weights. We need to come back. We'll probably go to Miami where it's a little bit longer runways. If all goes as planned, we're going to fly the Be Nice departure. Top altitude is 4,000 feet, and we're squawking 2,000. Before start checklist. Get that door shut. Get that beacon on. Watch for these doors to arm. Looking for 2 more. There we go. Alright, before start checklist. Maintenance log and tails onboard check. Cover prep is complete. Gear pins covers are removed. Signs are on auto. ADIRS. Check the data page. IRS. We got 3 nav. Perfect. ADIRS are in nav. Fuel, men required. 17.3. We've got 18 out on board. Altimeters 2978 is set. EFB is checked. Windows door slides are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Those levers are in idle. Parking brakes on. Transponder is in auto. Before start checklist is complete. And we're gonna. God, look at that, man! Look at that! Oh, the Spirit. Man, Lauderdale's got Spirit. Oh wow, we got a Lauderdale ground now. Okay, cool. The 21.4. Just gotta wait on this guy behind us. Tandem push back. Yeah, ground's on. Cabana, what's up, dude? Yeah, I bet you are, especially with Orlando shutting down. I think they're estimating like 480-ish cancels, something like that. So now, do we need to call ground and get our IFR clearance? Let's jump over real quick.
Runway 10 left, taxi via Tango 5 Bravo. 10 left here, Tango 5 Bravo.
Ugh, it's gonna take forever.
Well, 705, correct. Southwest 705, cleared. Actually, no, I'm looking wrong. Sorry. Okay, we're going to
Southwest 705, turn 2 IQ.
Alright, my bad. I don't know why my comment at 705 is here. Here's the 16. Alright, Southwest 705, finally back flight plan.
Yeah, Jeff kind of figured. We had a little chat about it this morning on the 8:30 a.m. call,
4000 departure, expect flight level
and
380.
of course my grandma's calling me.
Departure is offline, block 6667.
So to Houston, A truck 1 smell, 4003 to 10, departure on Yukon at 666
705, read back track.
Auto ground, true wing 6010, looking clearances, thank you.
1610,
A affirmative, clearance 1610.
I don't know. My grandma's gonna leave me a daggum. Gonna leave me a voicemail. Shit.
Ready, copy, we're disturbing 1610.
1610, cleared to Cancun via the B-91 departure, trade transmission that is filed. 4000 departure, expect flight level 360. 10 minutes after departure, departure is offline, block 6661.
Alright, cleared Cancun via the B-91, parade transition, 4000, 360, 10 minutes after departure on Unicom, and 661 for service 1610.
1610, that's correct. Exactly. Zero wing 543, no further ATP available. Monitor Yukon 122.8, and no enjoying a whirlwind of a flight.
Auto ground, Spirit Wings 2541, looking for IFR to Cancun as well.
Wing 2541, clear to Cancun via the B-91 departure, Corsair transition that is filed. Maintain 4000 departure, expect flight level 360, 10 minutes after departure. Departure is offline, block 6606.
We're cleared to the Cancun airport via the B-91 departure, Korea transition that then has filed 4000 on the initial. We'll expect 360 10 minutes after departure. Departure's offline, and we'll squawk 6606 for Spirit Wing 2541.
2541, read back correct. Call me ready for taxi.
.6606. All right, where we at in this thing? All right, he's taxiing. Sweet. Brakes released. Push him back. And let's start the block. Rolling one.
Spirit Wings 541, 14 minutes, bye. 1390, clearing 10 by. Fair wing 4691, cleared to Dallas via the B91 departure. Dolly transfer. Wow. 4,000. Rate 1218, over the field zone available on the Unicom 122.8. Enjoy your whirlwind of a flight.
Nobody is.
Wing 1610 spot 13. Ready taxi.
Nobody's being friendly back with him on his whirlwind flight
Wing 1610.
comments.
10 left. Taxi via Tango Single 5 Bravo.
Tango Single 5 Bravo to runway 10 left. Wing 1610.
Ground it up. 29. Looking to copy out for our ground. Mike Yankee Go 4.
Scoot 329, stand by.
Ground Southwest 705, spot 0, ready taxi with Alpha.
Southwest 705, runway 10 left. Taxi via Tango Tango 1 Bravo.
Sorry guys, I'm
Tango 1 Bravo down to 10.
responding to some work texts.
And ground to ring 1610. We're going to have to hold our position to that fair wings up the right side.
Roger.
Making jokes about me camping out at the Orlando office. Come on guys.
The aircraft calling clearance, watch taxi.
Alright. After start flow.
Copy out for our ground. Mike Yankee Go 4.
Down 0.1. Boom, boom, boom.
Lucas 329, clear to Mike Yankee Golf, Foxtrot has filed, maintain 4,000 on departure, expect 7,000 once you're in the departure, departure up 1, 6643.
Cellular Mike Yankee Go 4.
Alright, after start, take off, after start checklist. Engine and ice is off, yellow trump is off, road trim 0, after start checklist is complete.
American 1390, cleared to Dallas, Hurricane 2 departure, smell transition and file. Maintain 4,000 departure, expect flight up 340, 10 departure, departure up line, 6604. Ring 469, rock 6631 in Motron, please. Negative, not still on button for flight. Try it in your pilot line.
Make sure you got the in the TCAS. Make sure you have it set to on instead of auto, because auto apparently doesn't work. And make sure you have it set to TA.
No, whatever you just did a second ago just worked. It goes up for a second. Let's go. Okay, 469, speed up a little ahead on Tango so I can move the aircraft out. And 1610, taxi runway 10 right via Tango 8 Quebec Juliet.
Tango 8 Quebec Juliet for 10 right. I'll have to take a few minutes to get the performance for that, but I'll go and do that for you.
I mean, I can give you 10 left if you need it.
It'd be easier for 10 left. I can take the number if you want.
Let's wait, so you want 10 left or 10 right?
Oh God.
I'll do 10 left if you want.
Okay, Spear Wing 1610, runway 10 left, taxi via Tango 8 Quebec Bravo.
Tango 8 Quebec Bravo for 10 left to ring 1610.
Southwest 705, contact, monitor unit count 1361.
Okay, unit count, thanks for the help, please, Southwest 705.
Auto ground Spirit Wings 2541 ready taxi. We would like 10 left as well, please.
2541, runway 10 left, taxi via Tango 8 Quebec Bravo.
Tango 8 Quebec Bravo Spirit Wings 2541. Here we go.
Goose 329, you ready, taxi?
April.
329, runway.
All right, brake check.
Taxi via Tango
Pressure 0.
Quebec Bravo.
Tango 8 Quebec Bravo to 10 left.
Colorado ground, United 120 and Charlie 3 with Alpha request. I've already used to push international.
United 120, clear to Houston via the B91 departure. Dolly transition, 75. Maintain 4,000 departure, expect flight level 30, 10 after departure. Departure offline, walk 6640.
Roger, clear to Houston, file.
Alrighty, mini brief. Departing off 10 left. Gross weight's 151.4. Flaps config to fuel 18.7. V1's 118. V2's 141. Top altitude is 4,000 feet. 4,000 is blue. First fix is elbow. Flight controls check. Full up. Full down. Neutral.
And Spear Wing 469, your
Full left.
showing up as mode Charlie on your
Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Flight controls check is complete. Flight 10 speed seated for departure.
Okay, taxi via Tango 8, Quebec, yes. Spear Wing 1610, monitor unit on 128 for your flight.
22.8 for Spear Wing 1610. Have a great night, sir.
Yep.
Clear left, clear right.
Airpin 1390, altimeter 298, runway 10 left, taxi via Tango 5, Bravo.
Alrighty. If I can get back on the damn line. Before takeoff checklist to the line. Before takeoff checklist to the line, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim is 29.8% CG set. V1, VR, V2 flex. It's 118, 141, 141. no flex, flaps config 2, flight instruments are checked, flight controls are checked, ECMO takeoff all green, ECM status is checked, windshield nozzle is on auto, TCAS code set TRA, cabin crew's advised, mini brief is complete. Before takeoff checklist to the lines complete. Come on, dog. Over to Unicom. Thanks for all the accommodations today. Have a great one. Spirit Wings 2541.
Exclusive 329, Marty.
That roll and takeoff. Alright, before takeoff checklist below the line, runway 10 left is confirmed. Fuel, men at 17.3, we've got 18.5 on board. Engine mode selectors, normal bleed packs are set before takeoff checklist. Below the line is complete. Lauderdale traffic, Spirit Wings 2541, lining up. Runway 10 left. Lauderdale. And he is off. So we'll give them a couple minutes for separation.
Lauderdale traffic, helicopter 3 Tango Whiskey on approach for the shelter ramp from the north. Full Lauderdale.
Lauderdale traffic, Spirit Wings 2541, departing off runway 10 left, exiting the airspace to the north. Lauderdale. Here we go. Man. Toga, SRS runway, out of thrust blue. Takeoff. There's V1 and rotate. Got positive rate. You're up. Nav. Lauderdale traffic experience 2541's clear, runway 10 left, Lauderdale.
Roger, left. Hold on, this traffic. You got a set up on 2510 left. We're gonna
What is up with my instruments? Flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. And flap 0, speed checks, flap 0. Take it up a little bit higher. Let's go up to 15. All constraint. I don't know why I'm getting such lags in my instrument. -10 degrees Celsius, still not icing conditions. Still hand flying it. Yeah, I'm not staying at 4,000 for 40 miles. So until we get to cruise, I'm gonna put us at CI 15 so we climb faster. And then once we get up to cruise, we'll crank the speed back up. Gosh, so much going on. So many chats, so many emails, like work chats, so many text chats. Just to give us a little bit of separation from Wiley there, we're going to go direct Korea. Like it, a beam points inserts. Alright, there's 10,000 feet. Damn. Oh damn, so Hibbly, you're flying the same route as us, huh? I thought maybe you'd be going the southern route too. Trying to see if we can see Wiley anywhere. It's soupy. It's about 10 miles at 11 o'clock. Speed alt star. Let's keep it going. Take it up to our final cruise. 36,000 feet. 36 blue, thrust climb, open climb. 15 minutes. Let's see. Damn, y'all been chatting like a sumbitch in here. He's like, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like if you were to get clearance with ground, which doesn't really ever happen, they're not going to be aware of the weather that's on your route, so they're not going to reroute you. But like TMU, traffic management unit, if there's a big factor, whether it's traffic volume or weather or whatever the case, or like a TFR with SpaceX launch, stuff like that, then TMU will reroute you. They'll issue the reroute down the chain to you, but yeah, ground will never know what the hell you're going to. Got a meeting at 5:30. Update on everything that's going on. And there is standard transition altitude, rather. We can see sunlight. It's a good sign. Still dark as night. New clouds look amazing. I'm going up to 10 now. Screw this 5. Yeah, don't blame you. Everybody was like, fuck it. Taking a DOT physical for my Class A CDL in the morning. Hopefully I will pass. Well, actually, I guess I was thinking drug test for some reason. So when you said hopefully I will pass, I was like, but never mind. It's a physical, not a drug test. So yeah, hopefully you do pass. It's kind of like pilots when they got to do their medical. You can see Wiley there is just staying right off of her 11 o'clock position, about 8.5, 9 miles away from us. And we are definitely nice in conditions. Thomas, my sim just did that too. I'm at cruise though. Yeah, hopefully at some point we'll break out and get to see everything that y'all are seeing. $28,000, top still above you, nice. Company traffic's blocking us. Yeah, shit happens. Oh man. Ugh. We're going to make sure there's always some leadership presence in MCO throughout this week to support the team, and if we have an extra shift posted, nobody picks it up, and there is a desk that needs working, we are able to work those flights. Hopefully we can make it. It's a bumpy ride at 36,000, rocking like a pirate ship. Daggum WSI didn't show any of that. Let's see if it is now. Where's my mouse? Yeah, it's still not showing anything, but you're probably right along the front end of that cold front. That might be what's kicking you around. Ah, picking them up on Unicom, nice. Haven't heard nothing. I guess since there's nothing to watch outside, we'll watch V1. .65 knot headwind. We're only at 35.
We're on our traffic, American 2397 descending down. Media VTE2 arrival, we're landing on ILF 10 left, Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Zach, I see you on Volanta. Damn, Zach, I wish you were streaming so we could watch. Look at that. How would we not get an RA? Alright, well, let me... Just to get a little more separation. It goes wily. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's buffering. Get that back. And we'll just turn off that. That way we can see any breakout. So we are up here, just past Wiley, like by several feet. We got Hillbilly Gypsy out here, flying the same route as us. And then we got Zach down here flying through the eye of the storm. We can't change that weather color. I think it'll be the most, like, the easiest to see. Too much blue and too much of the same damn color. Okay, that's a little better. he's having some internet issues. That speed's kicking around, boy. So we're at 37. We can't see shit. Come on, man. Hurricane warning is in effect for this area for dangerous and damaging winds. This warning is issued up to 36 hours before hazardous conditions begin. Urgently complete efforts to protect life and property. Have food, water, cash, fuel, and medications for 3+ days. There ain't shit to see on this one, is there? Should be breaking out of this stuff in a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm trying to like do a bunch of different shit. Come on. Go. This is fun to watch. I got a meeting in 5 minutes. There we go. You got the runway in sight. I bet the runway disappears the last little bit. Cool.
Okay, runway 17 right, taxi about Gulf for Southwest 287, and we have information Foxtrot.
Jay, what's up, dude? we are watching V1 struggle to get into Key West. I actually did run numbers for him on SimBrief just to get the basic 45-minute reserve en route fuel burns from Key West to Lauderdale using a full boat. Sent him numbers. And so now he at least has an idea what his fuel burn is going to be like. Now I'm going to send him routing. So I just sent V1 and now I'm gonna run numbers for what he just put in.
Okay, on the park, it's going to be a left 160 heading to takeoff runway 179 for Southwest 287.
Where the fuck? Oh, there it is. It's 0.5, 3.2. Huh. So actually, not really any change to the numbers.
Orlando Tower, Southwest 287. Orlando Tower, Southwest 287. Orlando Tower, Southwest 287, radio check.
Oh, we're finally out of that shit. So anyways, I ran numbers for him using SimBrief, just like we would do in dispatch. Only difference is he would give us his actual fuel on board and actual zero fuel weight, and that way I can run more accurate calculations for him by using block fuel. So we block out the fuel in the software, tell the software how much fuel it has on board, where he's at, and it'll give us his actual, like, closer, more accurate burns than what I did. But basically what I did was just run a generic calculation from Key West to Lauderdale on standard routing with a full load of people, and sent him the total number between the en route burn and the reserve. And that equals min fuel remaining. So once you hit that amount, time to bug out. So the min fuel remaining that I sent him was 5.7. So when he went for that after he went around that last time, he looked down at his fuel on board and saw he was below 5.7. He was like, all right, time to divert. Miss V1. Alright, let's get rid of that. So we're finally breaking out of this stuff, looking at Volanta, wherever it's at. So you can see we finally made that southbound turn, and we are away from that stuff. So other than just being stuck in the tops for a while, I would say that we made the right decision in routing to the north. I mean, we were technically in the tops, but it wasn't like the bad type of tops. You know, that was that kind of light and misty stuff. Shoot, there's the 5:30 call. Guys, give me a sec. I gotta jump in on this call real fast, and I'll be right back with y'all. Sorry again, guys, it's part of this manager type shit. But I'll be right back with y'all. And sorry guys, I gotta turn the music off too because I can't hear the meeting with it on. All right, guys. We are back. Went ahead and jumped out of the call early. I don't want to leave y'all hanging for so long. But it's just, it's getting really busy as the hurricane gets closer. And I've just got all kinds of communications going on all over the place. So I'm just trying to stay on top of all of that, stay in the loop on things. I've already missed one briefing today that was a pop-up briefing. I didn't know about it because I never saw the text because I was doing this. So just trying to avoid that scenario. And of all the calls that I've been on today, the one I missed was probably the one I should have been on the most. So just trying to bounce everything around and do this at the same time. So let's start prepping for the arrival. We're not too terribly far from our top of descent. We're going to do our little hat flow as always. A flight plan, make sure this is what we want to land on. 30 right, it is. Fix info, and let's do Cancun. 30 right. Drop that in there. Let's give ourselves a 5-mile range ring. And then we also want extended center line, so we're going to do waypoint uniform November 622, and then opposite heading of 125, and then we'll draw our center line. Rad nav, we'll clear out Lauderdale, and we'll put in the Cancun VOR. That's in there. Prog page. Cancun 30 right. Perf page. Next. And let's get our current weather. So winds are currently 320 at 12. Temperature 29. Altimeter 2975. Baro is going to be 510. So it's 460 for the MDA plus 50 feet per company. Op specs gives us 510. That's good. Fuel prediction. Estimated fuel aboard at arrivals 9.9. I like it. So that gives us our 3.7 burn to the alternate. 3.2 reserve fuel gives us a min destination of 6.9. So this would be our bug out fuel. So if we had to hold for whatever reason, once we got down to 6.9, we would know it's time to divert. Gives us an extra 3.0 on the extra fuel, 41 minutes to hold with. Secondary, we're going to delete the secondary and stand by. Now the girlfriend's calling. Alright. So we're pretty much set up. It's non-ILS. We're going to leave the ILS push buttons off. We'll go auto brake low. And I don't need anything. We can go. I haven't heard nobody on radios in a hot minute. Got 30 left in here just in case. Oh shit. Okay, no, that's what I want. Cool. Thought I changed it in the active for a second. Good radio check.
5x5.
Got really quiet for a while, so I wasn't sure.
I see you.
So Wally, what runway you planning to take?
I got a 30 right scheduled for myself.
Roger. I might jump over to 30 left. That way we won't be too close and maybe get a nice sexy parallel landing.
Sounds good to me.
Alright, so we're going to jump on over after we start our way down. Go down, airplane. Damn. 3,000. Let's go secondary. Activate the secondary. It doesn't look like it gave us the arrival. I still got it in there. That's gonna be cool. Alrighty, so now we need to get the minimums for 30 left, which is the same. We are on our way. Sorry for this very sporadic, kind of off and on, not very entertaining flight. My apologies again for having to do all this along with work stuff. Hopefully it doesn't really become the new norm. It's just, you know, this hurricane's really increasing my involvement. So let's go here, and we're going to get rid of this extended center line because we don't need it since it's already displayed. How in the hell we get? That's because of all the changes we made. Duh. So, other than what may happen as we're trying to land, I would say it's a pretty uneventful flight, being that we flew over the low tops of a hurricane, which is pretty much what we were aiming for, versus Zach that flew straight through the eye and some of the higher tops. Said he was getting a lot of turbulence. Now, I was noticing that our speed was kind of up and down a lot, which V1 was talking about on his stream as well. It's not necessarily indicative of any turbulence, but I mean, I do think we hit some light stuff, but nothing compared to what it sounded like Zach got. So, it's pretty much what we wanted. We wanted to go over the low tops. We wanted the smoother rides. And we wanted it to be uneventful. We're willing to sacrifice a little bit of en route time and maybe be a little bit delayed for a safer, more enjoyable flight than, you know, shorter flight time but worse rides and not super safe weather. I wasn't. I mean, if it were real life, I would have been. I'd have been a little more concerned. You'd be surprised at how much of a disconnect there really is between ATC and like what weather's on an aircraft's route. Now, if that weather is inside of that controller's airspace, or I guess really center, because you got all the same guys under the same roof for a center. They're all in that building together, just working different sectors. So I'm sure they're talking around and talking about the weather.
I've always hated that approach in over the trees.
But if you've got like a flight leaving LA doing a transcon to Baltimore, and then there's thunderstorms in Kansas City Center, like LA Center doesn't know about the weather in Kansas City Center, so they're not, they're just gonna clear them straight through the weather without knowing it. And that's part of why dispatchers exist, so that when we see that, when they take off, and ATC is like, hey, y'all want direct to Baltimore, and they're like, hell yeah, and that puts them straight through the weather versus whatever tactical route that we made to keep them out of the weather. When we see that route change, we let them know, like, yo, please go back to your filed route, because otherwise you're going to fly through 50,000 foot tall squall line. Hate that song. So let's see what they're calling for on the winds here in Orlando. So today is the 27th. And the winds start to ramp up. Start to get pretty strong tomorrow afternoon. Around 2 p.m. It's getting up to...
Just fly in from Sterling.
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, nice. I'm going to see if I can make it into Key West. If not, I'm going to divert into Tampa.
And quite a lot to go around that Key West, so what you say?
Yeah, appreciate the heads up.
So yeah. Where did that go?
Changing traffic for number 3 traffic to the gate via Bravo. By Charlie.
Yes, we really peak out around 50-mile-an-hour gusts on Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning, Friday morning. Yeah, so actually Thursday evening into Friday morning. Sustain's not too bad. I don't think it'd be a big deal. I mean, 50-mile-an-hour gusts is kind of meh, but sustain's not bad at all. Alright, let's shut this music up. Key West traffic. Spirit Wings 2541, 15 miles to the east. Planning RNAV, runway 30 left. Cancun.
The Cancun traffic, Walker 2562 is approximately 13,000 feet over the field, departing to the north. Cancun traffic.
Nice, no factor.
Cancun traffic, serving 1610, about 15 miles to the northeast, inbound for 30, right?
Spirit Wings 2541, watch out for those trees.
Roger that, we'll be on the lookout for them.
Yeah, that approach is kind of a pain in the ass. I almost wish they would scale those trees down a little bit.
Well, I chopped a few of them down on my way in.
Alrighty. And here comes 3000. Let's go final app. And we need to actually put in our new shit. That's in there. Cool. Full speed. Activate. Confirm. Wait, do I have FL? Oh, I got FLS on. Didn't know that. We don't have that in real life.
$2,500.
There we go. So now we turn that off. Turn that off. Cool. Why did it? Things are falling apart. Alright, flaps 1, speed checks, flaps 1. There we go, now it should be good.
Cancun traffic, serving 1610, 10 miles on runway 30, right?
Cancun traffic, Spirit Wings 2541, 10 mile final runway 30 left. Where'd he be? Oh, he's like quite a bit further ahead. So I'm not really sure what the vertical deviation is doing. I may have screwed stuff up when I turned off that FLS. Yeah, we ain't got shit now. I think we're gonna be too high. And I'm basically just winging it, in all honesty.
Flight slow.
Don't even have a glide slope, so we might have to break off and give it another shot. We're just kind of flying blind at this point.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Got Wiley up there at our 1 o'clock. Can barely see him, just right out over here.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Yes, I know. Shut up.
Flight slow.
Cancun traffic, Spirit Wings 2541, 3 mile final, 30 left.
Cancun traffic, Spirit Wings 1610, short final, runway 30 right. Thank you.
And 1610, if we go around, we're gonna make a left-hand turnout.
Roger that.
Alright, I got the runway in sight. Looks like 3 red, not too bad. For winging it, there we go. 2 red, 2 white. Alright, we're good. I mean, that was not like legal at all. You would never do that in real life. Correcting for the winds.
Retard. 5. 5. 5.
Good God.
Cancun traffic, Spirit Wings 1610, clear 30 right, and company and that was the smoothest landing ever.
And 70 knots. Manual braking.
Spirit lanes 2541, nice landing.
Why, thank you, sir. Why, thank you. Cancun traffic, Spirit lanes 2541 is clear of runway 30 left. Cancun. Now where am I going? Alright, let's finish cleaning it up. Whoops. Forgot to turn the seatbelt sign on. They're going to be mad in the PAX program. Now see, we're post sim update 10 and it's still like it's definitely better than what it was, but it's not like that. I mainly get it whenever like I do my quick view changes. So let's see what Volanta was showing that one. Negative 92. It's definitely a floaty boy. So we skipped the approach checklist and the landing checklist because I was a little distracted trying to blindly fly an RNAV. But after landing checklist, exterior lights are set, flaps retracted. TCAS is to stand by. Engine mode selectors, normal ground spoilers are disarmed. Radar protective wind shear is off. After landing checklist is complete. Should be seeing Wiley come around that corner here soon. There's 3 minutes. Shutting down 2. Screw packs, we're in Cancun. Damn right. What's up, Jim? Sorry, man. I have not been paying a whole lot of attention to the chat. Been watching the been on like a Teams calls and Teams chats and work texts and a bunch of stuff like that. You know, it's getting busy with the storm rolling in. We'll just find us a spot down here next to this other banana plane. Oh, there he is. Yeah, see those on the ground, still getting some pretty rough stutters. I'm going to give him that spot next to banana plane, and I'll take this one over here. Nice. Love that. Let's go. My God. Terrible. But hey, we stopped right on the line. That's cool. We'll shut her down. All right. So, parking checklist. Slides are disarmed. Engines are off. Seat belts are off. Exterior lights are set. Ice protection's off. Fuel pump's off. Yellow pump is off. Chalk signal is received and parking brake is on. God, see, it's still, to me, in my opinion, it's not hardly any better. Post some updates in. Let's see how much pack shows at me. Oh wow, it's actually not bad. Very satisfied, 96% satisfaction. Landing rate -88, which is a lot better than Volanta with -92. Soft landing, nice. I figure they're gonna be like, yo, you took off or you landed with no seatbelts on. Well, guys, even though the flight was kind of boring for y'all since I was in and out doing work stuff, which again I apologize for. Why is this not working? But nonetheless, as always, I can never say it enough, but I appreciate y'all so much for coming to hang out. Hope y'all enjoyed the flight planning portion of this stream. That was kind of the main point of the whole deal, was to just talk about how a dispatcher would flight plan over or around or under or however in conjunction with an active hurricane. So hope y'all were able to take away something from that. Oh, look at that, Cancun Tower just came on. But as always, I appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for flying with me. That was a lot of fun. It's always super cool to see y'all taxiing around and know that I can like turn around and reach out to y'all in the chat and stuff. So anyways, don't know when the next one's going to be. Obviously, we've got this hurricane rolling in. It's going to be a factor for the next 2.5 to 3 days. Anticipating possible electricity loss, you know, that whole shit. So, but I will hopefully see y'all on the other side of the storm and hopefully be alive, as well as Jim in the chat. He is also up here in Orlando. I'm sure we'll fare just fine. 50-mile-an-hour winds, I don't think ever killed anybody, or it probably did somehow, knocked a tree over and killed someone or something. Who knows? But guys, thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all as always. If any of y'all are in Florida, stay safe, and until the next one, whenever that's going to be, we'll see y'all soon. Keep it on the wrong side. Peace.